Hello everyone and welcome to our President's Day Showdown, where I travel around Jamestown Settlement and the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown, and I ask my fellow staff members who they think would win in completely arbitrary, made-up competitions between presidents and vice presidents. So let's begin. Well, we're having our own Super Bowl for President's Day, so a President Showdown. So I have a couple questions to ask you. You know, don't put too much thought into it, just give me your honest answer.
Round one. Fight!
George Washington and George Clinton both share a first name with famous Star Wars creator George Lucas. So who would win a lightsaber duel? George Washington or George Clinton?
Obviously George Washington. He's got training as a soldier, so he knows how to use a sword and all that stuff.
George Washington. Why? Because he's a general. He's better at it.
Fair enough.
Clinton.
Clinton.
For sure.
Why?
I think it's obvious.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna go with George Washington.
Why?
I don't know, I just have a good feeling about it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And the winner is... Round two. Fight!
James Monroe and James Madison both share a name with James Dean. So who has the better hair, Madison or Monroe?
I'm gonna go with Madison on this one.
Why?
Well, if I recall correctly, he's in the era of powdered wigs, and those are very nice style.
James Madison.
Good answer.
I mean, their hair was really weird back then, but I'll go with James Madison to be nice, because he was all sickly and stuff, so.
Okay, that's very considerate of you.
Madison.
Madison? Okay, fair enough.
And the winner is... Round three. Fight!
Our third question, it's common knowledge that John Adams and Thomas Jefferson did not get along, so who would win a rap battle to the death?
I personally favor Thomas Jefferson, but then again, I'm a Jeffersonite, so...
Okay, so a little bit of a biased response, I see.
A little bit of a biased response.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Thomas Jefferson.
Fair enough.
Jefferson for sure.
Jefferson, I would agree.
I'm gonna go with Sam Adams. That's not who you said.
John Adams?
I'm gonna go with John Adams, because from what I heard, he was pretty big, so if he just lost in the rap battle, he could just sit on him, and he'd win.
Okay, fair enough.
And the winner is... Round...
What?
And our final question, we have Aaron Burr, VP, and our wild card pick, Alexander Hamilton. Now, they were both in a very famous duel. We know Aaron Burr won, but we're talking about a different type of duel today, dueling fiddles. Devil went down to Georgia style. Who would win in a fiddle competition?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't think I've actually heard what they're able to produce, so I'm gonna say that one's a toss-up, but I'm gonna lean slightly towards Hamilton on this.
Why?
Just because I feel like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr, why?
So I think he just has more class.
Fair enough, then.
Burr.
Burr, interesting. Any reason behind that?
No reason.
Who would win?
What's a fiddle?
Like a violin.
Oh, violin! Was that like the Devil Went Down to Georgia?
I just said Devil went down to Georgia style. Come on, keep up, Taylor. Who's winning? Who's winning?
Well, I'm gonna say Aaron Burr, because he shot Hamilton. Like, Hamilton is dead. So, Aaron Burr.
So you're saying just because Aaron Burr is better with a pistol means he's better with a fiddle too?
Yeah, because he's faster shooting. His fingers.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we're having our own Super Bowl of sorts, a president and vice president Super Bowl to figure out who is the cream of the crop, the best president or vice president, and we're down to our semifinal round.
Fight!
So I have two questions. The first one is between George Washington and James Madison. If they were in high school, who would be more likely to be prom king?
Oh, definitely George Washington.
What's your reasoning for that?
For one thing, he's reputed to be the best dancer in Virginia.
Best dancer in Virginia? I didn't know that.
Best horseman and the best dancer.
Wow.
To a lot of people.
So he's like a triple
It's
threat.
hard to imagine George Washington dancing, but
Yeah.
they say he was
Quite
a
a catch.
pretty good dancer.
I'm going to go with James Madison,
Why is that?
because as we all know, George Washington would never accept being king.
Oh, that's a great answer. Exactly right. Oh my gosh.
probably have to say George Washington.
Okay, why?
If I remember my history correctly, I'm pretty sure Washington was fairly popular actually, and that's what made him as revered as a general as he was. Whereas Madison, I don't think he was as popular as Washington ever was. So I'd probably have to go with Washington then.
And the winner is... Fight!
Between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr, who would be more likely to be a cat person?
I would go with
Thomas Jefferson, any reasoning for that?
particular, just he seems to be a cat person. A cat person, I think, or something.
That's fair. I'd say he was a cat person. Cat person.
I'm going to say Aaron Burr because he killed him and nobody likes him. So I'm going to just
like
assume
cats
he
like
likes
no one else. Yeah. He'd be a cat person.
Yeah, he would just be aloof and, you know.
Fair enough. Likely to be a cat person.
Thomas Jefferson.
Got any reasoning?
I've never heard of him, so I'm just going Thomas Jefferson.
Aaron Burr is one of the vice presidents.
I know my president's not my vice president. So.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And the winner is... Deathmatch.
Wonderfully, so we're having our president's showdown and we're down to the final round between George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. So you ready for the final question?
Okay.
Okay, the final question is, if George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were competing in America's Got Talent, who would win?
I would think that would have to be Thomas Jefferson.
Interesting. Any reasoning for that?
He liked to dance and yeah, liked music, so I think he'd probably do pretty well in that.
I feel like probably George Washington, because he could probably win just by taking his teeth out. I feel like that's a pretty cool talent to me.
Let's see, I think Jefferson would win because that's how it would be expanded the size of the country.
Probably Thomas Jefferson. He did a very good musical recently.
George Washington, he'd have to have some kind of like tree splitting record, right?
Okay.
Didn't he like chop trees or something?
Sure.
Wasn't that him?
I think so.
Could have been Abraham. I don't
Johnny
know.
Appleseed, I don't know.
Who didn't tell a lie?
Honest Dave.
Oh man. Okay, well, let's go with that, because that's all I got.
George Washington?
George.
Chopping down trees?
Yes.
George Washington.
What would his talent be?
Axe throwing.
Axe throwing, nice.
Axe throwing.
We're having our own Super Bowl of sorts, a Super Bowl between presidents and vice presidents. We're trying to figure out who wins the whole competition, and we're down to the finals.
Oh,
and
very
you're
good.
our tie-breaking vote. Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
All right.
So here's your question. Between George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, if they were both on America's Got Talent, who would win and what would their talent be?
Now that's a tough one. You know, Thomas Jefferson's a little good at almost everything. He's sort of the mile wide, but only an inch deep. You know, Washington, I'd say is kind of the inch wide, mile deep kind of guy. I don't know, if it's talent competition, you're typically only doing one thing. I gotta say, I feel like Washington's probably gonna, whatever he decides to pull out, he's probably gonna be the best at it.
But what would his talent be? Do you have anything? Any
Oh,
ideas
well,
if you're his
now.
talent coach?
Well, I suppose we can't say, you know, horticulture, chopping down trees, that sort of thing. They debunked
You'd say that. Two
didn't
people
they?
have said chopping down trees.
I was going to say they
would be
debunked
talent.
that, didn't they? Yeah, I don't know. Fathering nations is not exactly a talent. Maybe if we're going talents, I don't know. Might swing it back towards Jefferson.
Final answer?
Knowing very little about their personal lives, I just feel like Jefferson's probably a better dancer.
So you're gonna say Jefferson?
Let's go Jefferson.
Jefferson's our winner, looks like. Thank you, Brian.
Sure thing.